Good morning and welcome to day 3 of boot camp. Today we are going to be going over all things consumer. So that means your agent website that you can send your consumers to, as well as the mobile app that you can send them to download your KW app and search for homes. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started. So when we log into Command, the way that we access our side of the agent website and mobile app, that's where we can get our URL. It's where we can add pages to our website, edit pages that already exist on our website, where we can access that guide, the back end of the guide that I briefly showed you guys on Tuesday. There's a lot going on back here in the consumer side of Command. So the last app on the left is consumer. So the first thing that you will see when you get into the consumer applet, you are on the tab for your agent site pages. So these are active site pages for my monicaperry.kw.com. So you guys each have your own app. And if you were set up with Scott Leroy Marketing, he has gone ahead and built out a few pages for you. And we'll take a look at those right now. So home screen, you can edit and customize the background pictures to your liking. Just keep in mind that you have to have very high resolution photos there. You can edit out this text. Mine says love where you live. I believe by default, it says find your dream home. And then here in the upper right corner is where you can drop down. So if Scott Leroy did your setup, you should have an about me page. It looks like this. It's got your biography and your contact information. And then you should also have a page that looks like this. And yours will just have some generic text here in these two paragraphs. You can fully customize that if you would like to make a change there. And then you should also have gotten a download my app page set up for you by Scott Leroy Marketing. So those should be the pages that were set up for you when you joined KW. So you can see I have many pages. Some of them are not on. That's where they have this grayed out eye. The ones that are live have the teal eye. And so when you're on this agent site page tab, you can see what your website URL is right here, as long as your website has been set up. If it has not yet been set up, you will not see this here. So you can come over here to your site and app settings. This is a pretty important little button for you to become aware of. I'm going to go ahead and click into that. So when you're under your site and app settings, this is where you can change out those hero images that scroll along the back of your website. The stock images are beautiful, so you do not have to change them. I just happen to have some wonderful pictures of Winston-Salem, and I chose to pop those in here. So you can add up to 5 images, and the recommended size is a minimum of 1200 by 1200 pixels. This is also where you can change that agent site hero text. As I said, I changed mine to love where you live. By default, it says find your dream home. You have up to 50 characters there to customize that to the way you like it. The download app landing page. So what is that? Let's check it out. So if they go to download your app, this link brings them to this page here. So from here, you can see it is branded to you. And they can download the app for either iPhone or Android. They have the opportunity to go ahead and sign up here. They do need to create an account in order for you to be able to track their activities. and then they get this great video on what the app can do. So I'm going to take a moment to go ahead and play this, and then we'll keep moving forward. All right, good deal. So great video there showing everything that our app can do. And you can see down here, they have some key features listed, as well as your legal footer down here at the bottom. So that is where this download app landing page, that's what this is. So virtual tours, if you have listings and you got virtual tours, you can actually select your listing and add a virtual tour to it right on the website. It will also bring any virtual tour that was added into MLS into the website. And last but certainly not least, we can open this down here at the bottom. And so these are your preferences. So do you want Keller Mortgage displayed on your app and your website? And Keller Covered, our insurance company? And do we want to display neighborhoods? Okay. So let's take a look at what each one of those look like. I'm just going to go back to the home screen and search by current location. So this is going to pinpoint me geotagged location and show me listings that are around me. So as I scroll through, say I like this one. I'm a consumer, I'm taking a look at this property. As I scroll down, I have Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered right over here. If you have partnerships with local vendors and you don't want to display Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered, you are welcome to turn that off. I think it's great though. They can click right through and see the affiliated business arrangement. They can acknowledge this and move forward, and then they can move forward with getting pre-qualified. So just remember, in order to get a Keller Mortgage, they have to either have a Keller Williams agent as their buyer's agent or be making an offer on a Keller Williams property. Those are the only two ways that you can use Keller Mortgage. It can save you a whole lot of money. I actually did my refinance with Keller Mortgage, and they saved us $800 a month. So that's really great. I would highly recommend that you keep it on, but if you don't want to have it on, you don't have to have it on. So let's take one more step back and go to current location. And here's where the neighborhoods come into play. So all of these blue outlines are neighborhoods that were established by Nextdoor, not to be confused with subdivisions that are listed within the MLS, because we all know hyper locally that neighborhoods can have their own name, right? So I live in Sherwood Forest. However, the side of Sherwood Forest that I live on is actually called Old Sherwood Forest because it was the one that started being built in the late 50s. And if you go across Peacehaven Road, it takes you into New Sherwood Forest. So while they are the same subdivision, they are not commonly called that within, the local area. So these neighborhoods are established on a website called Nextdoor. If you've never checked out Nextdoor, I highly recommend that you do. They do have the ability for you to advertise yourself as an agent, but I'll pop in there really quickly, just as a person that actually lives in the neighborhoods. I'm going to log in. So whoever established this neighborhood in Nextdoor is who set these boundaries. Now we are working toward us having the ability to create these neighborhoods ourselves and create these boundaries in case something's maybe not right with it. But a lot of dogs being found and all that kind of stuff on Nextdoor. So whoever was the founder of the neighborhood was the person that established the boundaries for Old Sherwood Forest or whichever neighborhood it is that you live in. So there's a lot happening on there. Great website to check out. But that is what establishes those neighborhood boundaries. So as I scroll in a little bit closer on my map, there you will see the neighborhood names start to pop up. Club Haven Estates, South Peacehaven, Country Club, Burke Park, Old Vineyard, The Village, and Old Sherwood Forest. So let's click through onto this neighborhood. These pages are really great. I talked about these in a class last week. If they go to this Explore Neighborhood over here on the right, this is equivalent to them going to like 7 different sites. So that's really awesome. So they get a snapshot of the neighborhood, what's for sale, what's happening there, average home prices, average price per square foot, and average days on market. They do get this what locals say, which is taken from Nextdoor, a walkability score. They get a market snapshot, properties that are for sale in the neighborhood, what the locals are saying right here in the middle. They get the opportunity to see the transit and commute. So they get to add up to 3 different locations. So you can see I have 2. I can add a place and maybe I want to know how far this is from my office, that I can add that in. Now I have 3 and I know it's about a 6-minute drive from that neighborhood to my office or from this neighborhood to my brother's house, right? So that's a really cool thing. You get to see nearby schools and it's got a direct connection to Yelp. So this is really, really cool. They don't even have to leave the website and they get to see what neighborhood restaurants, cafes, grocery stores, shopping and fitness, all the things. Obviously, there's nothing right in the heart of the neighborhood, but up here on Robin Hood Road, we have a ton of stuff to go eat and do. So that is a really cool feature. Then they also get to take a look at nearby neighborhoods. So maybe there's not something for sale in this neighborhood that they want, but it is in an area that they enjoy. So here are some other neighborhoods that are around that may be of interest. And it's got a contact you part at the bottom, which is super nice. All right. So cool deal. That's those neighborhood pages. And that shows you can disable those neighborhood boundaries with this button and choose disable. Cool deal. So that covers the general tab of site and app settings. The next tab is the URL. So if you forget what your website is, you can come here and find it. Mine is monicaperry.kw.com. If you forget what your app code is, you can come here and get that as well. And this app code can be shared in a text. It can be shared in an email. whatever you want to do, you can give it a, my mind just went blank, a QR code, the little digital scan box, and it will link straight to your website. And you can even put it in your signature. So you can see in my signature, it says to download my app, click here. So if they click on this phone, it takes them straight to that link, which brings them back to this site so that they can download my app. Super nice. And next up is featured listings. So featured listings show up on our website at the bottom of our home screen. So I've got some featured listings showing up right here. If you don't have your own listings, I would highly recommend that you partner with an agent in your office and just say, hey, you know, would you mind if I feature your listings on my website? I am positive that they will say that they don't mind doing that. So check out Matrix every once in a while. Go to your Matrix so you can get to your hot sheets. Go to your office active listings. Maybe you want to do a specific area, or maybe you want to do what's the newest listed property. Whatever you think works for you. I'm just going to pop into this 3223 Kensington. There we go. So this is a little condo. Let me see if I can find a nice front exterior house. Go back one step. Got this bar in my way here. I'm just going to make it easier on myself. Let's find, all right, Kenderton. That's a nice little area. Okay, so 106 Pendleton Drive in Bermuda Run. Thank you, Greta Fry Wiley, for allowing me to use this listing. I know that Greta won't mind one bit. So I can select listings here, and I can search by property address. Right now, it is only showing my listings, which I don't have any listings. So I can click all listings, and it's going to search for that 106 Pendleton Drive. Get this code back. Maybe. It could be that that is a super fresh listing. Let me find another one. Ooh, that's cute. 132 Mayberry Farm in Sparta. Thank you, Robert Poole. Robert Poole crushing it with getting listings. Let's try that one. There it is. So I'm going to click select and click done. And now you see it there, and I have to save my changes in the lower right corner. Give it a second to catch up. Hit refresh on my website. And there's that third listing that I'm featuring at the bottom. It even says new in the corner, which is great. So you can have up to 12 featured listings. Next up is theme. This is pretty simple. Do you like red or do you like black? So this is only the first iteration of our website. The thing to remember about this is these are just going to get better and better. And the great thing is, if you've been with KW any amount of time, or not any amount of time, but a couple of years, we used to use third-party providers for our websites, as most real estate companies do. So when we would switch from one to another, it was a huge deal because everybody had to change everything and reset everything up. With this, since we own it, if we update it, it just updates for everybody. There's no work on your part as the agent into updating these sites. And last but not least, the agent site pages. So if you decide to create a new page for your agent site, it is going to bring you back here so that you can add that new page that you created right here on to your website. All right, so that takes us through all of the site and app settings. I'm going to go back to where we default to consumer. You can also create standalone landing pages, maybe for a listing. So I'll check this one out. So I've quickly put this one together. It's got my branding at the top, the listing widget, which is great, shows all the photos, all the information, a map, and then I've got this down here at the bottom. So this is a standalone web page that you can just take this and share it wherever you want, or email it or text it. This one's already gone pending. Congratulations, Lynn. That's very quick because she just put that listing up last week. So awesome. Everything is getting sold. Good deal. Okay, so that's what the landing pages are. Guide builder. So we looked at the guide because there's a tab in our opportunities that says whether the buyer or the seller is connected to our agent site. And if they are, we can manage their guide, like mark steps as complete, as you saw in that video. This is where you can come to actually edit these guides. So I did teach a whole class on this. Let me get to my Google Drive and I will drop these down in the chat. Remember, these guides were set up for the entire country, and the entire country does not practice due diligence or have any, radon is a big thing here in North Carolina, for instance. So what I did is went through and customized my guide, both for my buyers and my sellers. I taught a class on this a while back. The video is up on YouTube. So this is the document that I used to edit my guide, because I will show you what it looks like to edit the guide. You get a pretty small working space. So I'm just going to open up my buyer guide. Their first step was interested in Keller Mortgage, or it was get pre-approved, but it linked directly to Keller Mortgage. And I wanted to be able to highlight my local vendors. So I added the step that said get pre-approved. I'll open this up. And I kept some of their information, and then the workspace details is where I added in my local lenders that I like to use. And I said in the next step, you can get to Keller Mortgage, but you can see that this is quite a small workspace to work in. So I just did everything on a Google document, and then I went through and copied and pasted it into the correct areas of the guide builder. So I will drop this one in the chat, and I will also link this to the video that goes up on YouTube. Customized buyer's guide. Here's this link. And I also have the seller guide. And I will copy this one after it loads. There we go. And custom seller guide. There we go. All right, so those are both in the chat. And so you can edit these as much as you want, right? I kept a lot of what KW had. I just copied everything that KW already had and dropped it into this Google document. And then I went and read through it all and was like, okay, well, this does make sense. This doesn't make sense. They had a card that said home inspection on the buyer side, which for us, and I did take notes on everything that I did to bring your attention to it. I didn't want it to just be called home inspection, because here it's really important that we get home and pest and radon and all of that other kind of stuff. So I renamed the card due diligence period to really bring their attention to that, because that is a very important conversation for us to have with our clients. So you can see just where I came through and edited things out. And I took notes on everything so that you guys can take a look at that. And I hope you find that helpful. But this is where you edit that all out. You have an introduction that says, congratulations on starting the process of buying a home. And this is where you can edit it over here on the right-hand side. So I do recommend that you go in and edit that. And I'm not going to touch on collections right now. You guys don't have this quite yet, but I will let you know when it comes available for general availability. And so that is what's covered under that guide builder. All right, good deal. So let's look at adding a page to our website. So we have several types of pages that we can add, or several widgets that we can use. You can also link to third-party websites, which is something I have done on my site. So you can see when I drop down here, I showed you the default pages Scott Leroy would have set up for us. We can also create a leave us a review page. So you can come here and do reviews or share this link with your clients to get them to review you. Also, I get this question asked a lot. If somebody leaves you a review on Zillow, or somebody leaves you a review on Facebook or Google or realtor.com or any of those other places, and you love that review and you want it to show up on your agent site, you can just take that review, come to this link on your own and copy the review into this and then have it added to your agent site. So that's the leave us a review page. And this is the testimonials page that you can build. You can do the list like I have here, or you can do a carousel that scrolls through, which is really cool. I just prefer this list view. And we can have up to 12 testimonials showing at any one given time on our website. But then you can also add other links to other sites. So things to do in Winston-Salem. If you've lived here, Smitty's Notes is pretty prevalent here. It tells you like what restaurants are good, what's going on around town, what kind of activities are coming up. So I was able to just link directly to Smitty's website from my website right there. You can also, my appointment scheduling app that I share with you guys, I was able to create a link for this. So if you want your clients to be able to schedule with you directly, you could do that as well. And I added a blog from HomeKeeper. So we don't have the ability to write our own blogs as of yet. Maybe in the next version of our website, we will. However, if you have your free account set up with HomeKeeper, there is a blog on there, and there is a way to link that blog to your website. And I also created a home value page. So Cloud CMA is something that we get for being a realtor. It's part of the Triad MLS package. When you're in the MLS, you will see Cloud CMA. And within Cloud CMA, go to my dashboard. So you can see Cloud CMA is right here. It's of no cost to you. And when you're here in Cloud CMA, you can click on your initials in the upper right. You do have to set up an account if you haven't done so yet. And you can come down to this lead generation button. And it gives you this landing page so that you can do a What's My Home Worth landing page. And you copy the link, and just like adding any other third-party website to your agent site, it works the same way. You just need that link. So let's look at actually adding a page. So in the upper right corner, we come to consumer again, the last app on the left. And then we click create a new site page in the upper right corner. And we get to choose on our agent site or as a landing page. Those are those separate pages. So let's first look at on my agent site and click create. And you will see your widgets over here on the right hand side. So I'll just drop them over. If you're a rainmaker, you have a meet the team. These photos, phone numbers, and email addresses are being populated from your agent's marketing profile. So while we're here, let's take a look at that really quick. If you're logged into Command, you're going to drop down in the upper right corner and go to your settings. And then over here on the left-hand side, you're going to click on Connect Settings and Marketing Profile. So if you have not, or your team members have not, taken the time to come in here and add their headshots and your team's logo and their name and license number and their Facebook and their military affiliation, if they have an affiliation to the military, all of this information is what is going to populate your agent website and your mobile app. So if you haven't looked in here in a while, make sure that everything is nice and updated. Okay. All right. Good deal. Let's pop back over here. Go ahead and close these out. And I'm going to click on this and click delete in the upper right corner, but that meet the team page is pretty nice. In fact, I think I have one that I can show you. Let me go to Greta's website. Maybe. Internet, don't fail me now. Know why it's not going over there. Here we go. So Greta Fry and Associates meet the team. This is what that page looks like when you have a team built out. Everybody's lovely faces and their contact information. So that looks really nice. Okay. So the meet the team widget, agent profile, that looks like this. Again, if Scott Leroy did your setup, you already have one of these. You have the contact form, looks like that. That testimonials carousel, which is going to just show one testimonial and then filter through. The testimonials list, which you saw an example of on my website. That company profile widget looks like this. And the testimonials capture widget looks like that. We looked at my testimonials page. And then you have the download my app widget. So if you're going to create any page, even if you're going to do one of these third-party pages, which is just going to use a link to the other page, you always have to have at least one widget on the page. So I guess quickly I'll show you how to do a testimonials capture form. In order to set up the testimonials page, you first have to set up the testimonial capture page. So I'm just going to say boot camp testimonials capture. And then you just grab this testimonials capture form. And then you're going to click the configure widget button here at the bottom and go through and fill all of this out. So I'm just going to say, you know, Monica Perry. See, please leave us a review. The description is giving them a prompt right here. Thank you for being a valued client to help me continue to provide the best service, blah, blah, blah. So you can leave that as it is, or you are welcome to customize it. The review headline, how would you rate your experience? So if I wanted to change that, I could, and once I click Save Changes, you will see that, ooh, I went too far. Let me see. There we go. So let me finish this. Configure widgets. There we go. That's my bad. we're going to click Save and Apply. And then you will see those changes show up over here on the left-hand side. So this is your preview here in the main part of the screen, and this is your working space where you're changing pieces. And so then once you click Publish Page, and yes, it's going to default you back to this Agent Site Pages under your Site and App Settings tab. So then you can click Add a Page over here on the left. You're going to pick the page you just created and click Continue. Give it a new name, like so, and a slug. That's just the end of the URL. And then you can do some search engine optimization if you would like. And then you click Save. That has now added that new page to my agent site. I'll show you where it shows up. Just hit a refresh here. And so there's that boot camp test, and there's that review page. Okay. So that is how you add a page. Let me go ahead and delete this because I don't need it. There we go. Now, adding a third-party website. This takes a few more steps. If you ever want to do it, I'm happy to work with you to walk you through it. I actually got this idea from a fellow Labs advisor named Noel. And you go to iframe-generator. That's the first thing you do. Okay. And then whatever website you want. I'm just going to pick my daughter's basketball training as an example. Okay. So all I need is this link up here. I'm going to copy it to my clipboard and go to iframe-generator. I'm going to paste that website under the iframe URL. I'm going to give it a name. I want to change my height to 100 and this to percentage 100, like so. That's going to let it scale on phones, tablets, computers. And that is all I have to do. So give it a name, give it 100 as a height, change the third part to percentage and 100%, and paste the URL, whatever the URL is that you want to use. And then I'm going to click this generate button, and it has generated me some code, which I can now copy. Okay. So then when I come here and create a new site, again, it's going to be on my agent site, create page. I'm going to give it a name. Like so. And like I said, you have to have at least one widget. So I usually just bring over this contact form. And then down here at the bottom, you can expand your content blocks. You're going to grab this text and drop it. And now you're going to paste that iframe code that you got right here and click Save Changes. Oh, I lied. You're going to click Configure Widgets first and change any of this that you need and click Save and Apply. And then you're going to click Save Changes and yes. Again, it's going to bring you back here. I'm going to do this page that I just created and click Continue. And you would give it a name and a slug. SEO and save. And then we will give our website a chance to catch up. I'm going to click refresh one time. And now when I drop this down, there's that test third-party website. It's going to take it a second, and there we go, linked straight to that third-party website. So super cool. We can add whatever we want there. Eventually, we're going to get some great upgrades here. But for right now, that pretty much shows you what you can add and do with your site. So the widgets that already exist or adding third-party pages for now. Okay. And next, landing pages. So these work pretty much the same way. There are just some additional widgets that you get to use. So I'm going to click create a new page so you can see the widgets as a standalone landing page, create page. You have an agent branding, looks like this. You have the branded header, which I personally like a lot, looks like that. You have the lead form. You have a legal footer. A listing widget. So that was like that one that we looked at a few minutes ago. The market snapshot, which I love as well. It's really nice. Shows you what's happening either in a neighborhood established by Nextdoor or a zip code. Okay. Your local expert looks like this. I think this is a really nice looking one. You can add a video. If you're going to do videos for now, you do need to have a YouTube URL. There we go. And then we again have a testimonials capture form and the download my app widget. So those are all the widgets that we have available. And then we also have the content blocks where you could do the same thing. Link to a third-party site if you so chose. So one of the things that I love to use these standalone landing pages for is to look super impressive at an open house. So I'm just going to do an open house sign-in sheet. I know we're in the middle of COVID, but we're still having open houses. And if you use a tablet, then you can set up a landing page that your folks can use to sign in while they are getting more information about the listing. And then you can use a sanitizing wipe and wipe that tablet down for the next person to sign in. So let's take a look at how to create this. One tip, the listing widget is super long. So I usually like to drop my top widget and my bottom widget, and then anything else, I drop it in the middle, okay? So I'm going to do my legal footer at the bottom. On top of that, I'm going to do that local expert so they can see what's happening about me. And then I'm going to drop over this market snapshot next. I'm going to drop over the listing widget next. And quite backwards from what you would think you would do is put that lead form at the bottom. I'm actually going to put it at the top. And then I'm going to drop over my, oops, that's the wrong one. I meant to do my branded header. My apologies, branded header. There we go. Okay, so those are all the pieces. So now I'm just going to borrow another listing. See if I can find a good one here for an open house that would be coming up this weekend. Let me see. Let's go with something bougie. See what this one looks like. Yeah, that's super cute. $349 Beauchamp. There we go. Okay. So now we've got all the widgets pulled over the way we want them. We are going to click Configure Widgets. Welcome to that address. Okay. There's my headshot, my name, all that looks fine. I'm going to click Save and Apply. Okay. Next up, we're going to click this little arrow. And instead of this saying interested, let's talk, let's have it say, please sign in. Now, the cool thing about this is that if they enter their information here, it is going to automatically put them into Command for you. So that way, when you get finished with your open house, or once we have Command Mobile, hopefully right at the beginning of December, these contacts are already going to be in your command. You could put them on your open house follow-up smart plan, reach out to them, ask them what they thought, stay in touch, all that kind of fun stuff. So this is really great because that way you don't have to bring that sheet of paper home, and remember to put everybody into your database. I'm going to save and apply. So now it says, please sign in. I'm going to go to my next widget. I'm going to browse listings and search for that address that we just had pulled up. And there it is. I'm going to click select. Thank you, Ashley Way. There we go. We could choose a different front image if we wanted to. Say the kitchen was really spectacular, the view, you know, whatever you think. And then you can click save and apply on that widget. So that's going to configure that listing widget there. All the pictures, info, a nice scroll of photos here. Fantastic. And now I can click the next button again. And here's that neighborhood snapshot. So I can say what's happening in Advance NC. And I believe that's 27006. Am I right? Yes, 27006. And I'm not going to pick a neighborhood. I'm just going to say all of Advance, because smaller areas, you're going to run into not as much data. So I'm going to say that. So now I've got my listing. I've got a what's happening in Advance. They can see all of the active listings, pending listings, all that great stuff. And now I'm going to click to my next widget, which is my information. And I don't need to change any of this. I'm going to save and apply. Whoops. Oh, my bio is too long. That's okay. We're just going to delete this page. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to click this one, hopefully, and delete it. But you get the point. So that one I'm not a fan of that one at this point. But this is your branded footer. So you would save and apply and get everything going. And let me see if I can get it to let me delete that piece now. I'd never noticed that this one did that before. I'm going to save this. See if it'll let me save it. It did. Awesome. So here, oh, this hasn't been published yet. It won't let me publish it without it, but it does turn out looking really nice. Let me see if this one was like that. So a please sign in, and you can just have this on your tablet at the property, hand it over, take it back. So super cool. Okay. So that takes us through what the consumer site is from our side and how we can edit it. Let's just take a look at the consumer site. So you can use these websites, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow when we go over campaigns, to do all kinds of great stuff. So running Facebook ads is really getting people a lot of leads. They may not be right now lead, but no lead is a bad lead as long as you capture that information. Remember, in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, 1 out of 50 leads that you haven't met can turn into a piece of business. So getting a whole lot of those to cultivate and work with is key. And you're always going to get the most leads from an individual property ad, but not all of us have our own listings yet, and not all of us want to ask another agent to borrow a listing. So there are many other ways that you can run ads. For instance, we're just going to start searching around. We already saw searching by current location. Looks like this. I'm on the satellite view. You also have this default view if you prefer that, or if your client prefers that. I like satellite though. And you can see everything that's around you. I showed you the neighborhood pages. You can see other neighborhoods that are nearby. Clients can create a save search. They can draw on the map if they just want to live in a specific area, like so, and it'll show them the listings here. And they can save the search right here. They can say, okay, I'm going to call this Sherwood, Buena Vista area. They can choose to get email notifications daily, weekly, instantly when something changes, or monthly. And they can click save. Okay. You can also search by landmarks. So say you're a big Wake Forest fan. Wake Forest University. And you want to know how long it's going to take you to get to the school, or you want to live around the school. So there's Wake Forest. Searching by landmark. I can start scrolling out and seeing homes that are for sale in the area of Wake Forest. Or I could zoom in on the Coliseum or the Dash baseball stadium or a specific school, business, whatever you would like. You can search by landmark. You can search by school districts, right? So some ideas for the way you could use this website for an ad. What if you wanted to run an ad for 27104 zip code? Boom. Search the zip code. There's all the listings that are available in that zip code. So I could run an ad that said, homes for sale in 27104, right? So if anybody's looking to live in 27104, they might click on that ad. And we'll talk about the ads more tomorrow, but just ways that you can use your website. I could take this a step further and I could say the more button, price reduced 7 days ago, and say recently reduced homes in 27104, right? And that could be my ad. Or I could take it even a step further. Maybe I want to go to price. Minimum price of $700,000 qualifies that property in the eyes of Keller Williams as a luxury property. So if I say only houses 700,000 more that were reduced in the last 7 days, you can see I don't get too many, but how specific is that ad? Recently reduced luxury properties in 27104. Right? So you can use these websites, not just for your clients, but for your own use. And so just keep this in mind for tomorrow's class on designs and campaigns. But your clients can search through here and do all kinds of fun stuff. So I do recommend that you go to your own website and that you do create yourself an account as a consumer. So right now I'm logged in as who? As Dakota. So in command, let me go back. Let you see this, take some actions. So like I said, your client has to have an account in order for you to see their activity. If you don't want them to have to set up their own account, you can go to your own website. I'm going to log out of Dakota for a minute. You can go to your own website and you can click sign up with their permission, of course. You can click sign up. You can add your client's first and last name, their email address, and then maybe make their password their cell phone number. and go ahead and create them an account. Then you can say, here's the code to download my app. Your login is your email address and your cell phone number is the password. Or to log into my website, your login is my email address and your cell phone is the password. Please feel free to go in and change the password at your convenience, but that way you're assured that they are logged in. So let me log back in as Dakota. So once they have an account, I do recommend you set yourself up an account just like I did. I just used my dog's name instead of my own. But that way I can see what these interactions look like. So new coming soon. So what if he likes this one? He's adding it to his favorites. He's going to open it up and look at it. And he's like, oh, that's an area that I really like. So maybe he wants to ask me a question. Or maybe he wants to schedule a tour. Then he gets to choose, is this a live tour or an in-person tour? Different times and dates. So maybe he wants to go Friday morning or Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. And he wants to go in person and he wants to schedule that tour. And then I say, got it. Okay. And so then in command, if I go to Dakota's contact, I did just get a notification, by the way. Notifications are coming so soon from Command Mobile. I can't wait for you guys to have it. I'm going to go to Dakota's contact. That little green check mark next to his name means he does have an agent site connection. And let's see what's happening here. Well, I don't know why it's not updating. Maybe it's just slow. Let me try it as somebody else. Nonetheless, I think my internet's just being slow. It will show up here in your all activity like the other day when he viewed Carolina Beach Boardwalk, viewing neighborhoods, all the emails where he's asking to see. You can sort by all activities like so, where he's favorited listings and all that kind of fun stuff right here in your contacts timeline. Where's viewing properties and favoriting properties. So you can see how great that is. You just have to make sure again that they have an account. All right. So that's pretty much it for websites. I'm going to log in to the Zoom from my phone so that I can show you the app. It's very similar. I just want you guys to get a chance to see what it looks like. So bear with me a second while I get this pulled up. And I'm going to share my screen. Right here. So that you can take a look. And the website, or the, I'm sorry, the app is the white background with the red KW. And it looks very similar to our website. Once you get in there, you can click the little arrow and it's going to look at what's around you. So you can see it's got very similar capabilities. You can look at the satellite. And your clients can scroll around and take a look at the listings, open them up, further open them, scroll through the pictures like so. They can see the prices, reductions, Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, property descriptions, all the same things that they were looking at on the website, they can ask the agent a question. Like so. All right. They can again try to schedule those tours with you. And so you can see very, very similar functionality, very similar to the agent website. The guide is in here as well. So they can go through the guides and open up the step and read about due diligence. And see that updated data, and they can mark the step as complete and move on to the next steps. So super cool there. Very similar functionality from our website. So that pretty much covers the two of those things. Let me take back the share to my computer screen. And pending that there are no questions, I hope you guys enjoyed this and that you learned a lot. And don't worry, I'm always here to answer any questions for you. Just remember, there are only a couple of things you have to do in Command, right? Add your contacts, facilitate your transactions, return your documents, and request your money. That's all you have to use the system for. It does have a lot of parts and pieces. Tomorrow, we're going to cover two of my favorites, which is designs and campaigns, two of the most fun parts of Command. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.